Thanks for staying with us. In Ivory Coast, about 60 miles from Abidjan, the Bini Estate promotes an ecosystem model that aims to be participatory and inclusive. Participatory because villagers of the neighboring hamlet work there. Inclusive for its tourism activities are offered to the emerging Ivorian middle class. Pierre Clochender tells us how this cohabitation holiday resort with village is shaped.
When you reach the Bini Estate, the master of ceremonies, Monsieur Nguessan and Monsieur Bini, the host, welcome you with a cup of banji, the palm wine you drink, but not to the last sip, in honor of the ancestors, Akwaba. Then you drink the milk from the coconut, which villagers of the neighboring hamlet have cut for the guests. But Monsieur Bini is already taking you on a guided tour of the estate he created with his own hands on his family land 6 years ago.
I'm a banker by training. I have no degree in nature. We're all sons of planters here. There, we have our cabins on stilts. Their particularity is that there are barely any walls. We don't have fans or an air conditioner. A large mosquito net wraps the hut. Go ahead, Pierre. The wall is only to this point, and everything else is just a mosquito net. It's secure and you can sleep peacefully. Everything's solar here. Here's a dry toilet, the wood chips we use. We're really into basics. We don't want the bling-bling style because we want to feel nature directly and touch the wood. It's a symbiotic life.
It's Monsieur Nguessan's turn to guide us on the domain's land. First stop at a plantation of Evia, the rubber tree. The Ivory Coast is the world's fourth largest producer of natural rubber.
The rubber tree as we have it here was discovered in the wild, the original rubber tree. The intention is not to exploit the Bini Estate, it's to preserve nature. It's a kind of voluntary reserve.
It's an ecosystem that reconstitutes itself. Nature regains its strength.
We cross a stream and enter the nearby village's private lands.
Here, we're in a pepper plantation. This is the most prized pepper because it retains all its savor. Here, it's the cocoa tree. When the pod is yellow, it's when we harvest. There you have the cocoa beans.
May I taste?
Suck, yes, because there's a sweet muzzle in it. Only during fermentation do the aromas of the chocolate emerge.
The beans harvest of the world's leading cocoa producer has just started. Podding, fermentation, exposure to the sun, then the drying and weighing the beans. In the villages, the planter's labor is limited to that.
The state takes care of the rest.
It's also the state that determines the cocoa beans purchase price from planters. Fixed at $1.45 per kilo, the price is down nearly 20% compared to the previous season.
Rather than selling the cocoa in its primary state, we'd gain much more in satisfying our producers by transforming the beans here, and we sell it into a finished product.
Global warming does nothing to help matters.
By the time we expect rain, there is no rain. When we least suspect it, it comes. So everything is mixed up. We understand nothing in the system.
With the pandemic, do you have a lot of visitors?
Oh, COVID. Don't mention it, because this is dangerous. COVID squarely knelt us down.
To compensate for the loss, there's agritourism and diversification.
An ecosystem, a village, an ecotourism activity. Because I believe that you cannot have ecotourism without the village. When a villager knows that the tourists are coming, his wife will prepare food. His neighbor will prepare palm wine. The nephew will be the guide. The other will clean up space, and the neighbor at the far end will build huts. In the evening, the storyteller, the biggest liar in the village, well, he'll be the pivot, since he passes on the tales and the legends. It's like a play. The ladies, the storytellers, the dancers, the staff, the food, the lifestyle come from that village. Everyone wins. It works on its own.
Five other estates are scattered near other villages located on the lagoon, in the savannah, in the forest. Listening to Monsieur Bini, I imagine this one, the mother domain, taking shape. About 30 villagers work here. The village chief also gave me his blessing. Le Petit d'Anané, a village no poorer than the others but no richer. We're still far from the more ecological than ecological village envisioned by Monsieur Bini, whose elders know how and sacred traditions would enhance. The vision? To make ecotourism an engine for Ivorian entrepreneurship, both socially and locally, by promoting, for instance, the transformation of cocoa into an attraction that sets itself apart from the beaten touristic path.
Ce sont des fèves que je suis en train d'épiler.
These are beans that I'm crushing to get cocoa powder. Now we're sifting.
Le cacao. Nous allons tamiser.
Ça, c'est les tranches de coco torréfiées.
These are slices of roasted coconut with cocoa powder.
Cacao torréfié.
Here, roasted cocoa beans with honey, crushed beans, we call it nuggets.
The 10 fingers feast, or taste Mother Nature. We have the aloko, sweet potato fries, chicken braised over a wood fire, some teke. Then you have fufu, which is a kind of mashed bananas with a hint of red oil, accompanied by a vegetable fish sauce, the mouton entro sauce. The goat nyanyan sauce, which is served with bananas, fotu yams, futu, and steamed fish. You have the right to serve yourself 10 times.
And to digest this Ivorian gourmet meal prepared by Madame Chantal, the chief cook, what could be more refreshing than a bath of white clay? Are you a happy man, Monsieur Bini?
I can't say I'm too old because I did it. Then you can't say you need the means. Those who know me know how I started, and here I am. I feel privileged.
Voilà, donc moi je me sens privilégié.
Pierre Clochendler, I24 News, Bini Estate, Côte d'Ivoire.